This video will teach you what are the bookkeeping entries we have to make at the beginning of the accounting period. The case is taken from chapter 31 of my textbook Basics of Accounting.
I'm Carsten Berkau, full accounting professor in Osnabrück. My BasicsClips will help you to understand international bookkeeping.
When we start a new accounting period, we normally have access to the accounts. We distinguish real accounts, which are linked to the balance sheet, and nominal accounts, which are accounts for profit and loss. We refer to the case study GOUSBLOOM, which is in chapter 31, and for which we prepared the accounting period 2007 already. From our recording, we have, for example, the cash bank account. In general, the bookkeeper balanced off all the real accounts. They look like our cash bank account. In the next accounting period, we simply continue the accounts. Normally, we change the identifier or we change the color of the pen we make our bookkeeping entries with. I now make a bookkeeping entry alpha, which is for the taxes which have been recorded as income tax liabilities to the extent of 724,800. In contrast, the nominal accounts have been closed off. We take a look at the rent account. When we prepared the income statement, we closed off the rent account to the profit and loss account. Therefore, we made a debit entry in the profit and loss account, and we recorded a credit entry with the reference profit 7 loss to the rent account to the extent of 48,000. By this bookkeeping entry, the rent account has been closed off to the profit and loss account. We indicate this by double crossing the line of the account. Regarding the prepaid expenses, we now must transfer the prepaid expenses for rent 2008 to a rent 2008 account. Therefore, we open a new account as a nominal account by the name of rent 2008. Now we make a debit entry with the rent reference prepaid expenses to the extent of 48,000, and we credit 48,000 to the prepaid expense account. By this bookkeeping entry, the prepaid expense account has been closed off to the rent 2008 account. In general, if we commence a new accounting period, we have a few bookkeeping entries to make. The first one has been mentioned already. We have to transfer prepaid expenses. Next, we have to make a payment for the income tax liabilities. Next, we have to claim or to pay the output VAT. We have to make a payment for dividends. It might be that we have to pay for short-term liabilities. In the case study GOUSBLOOM, we got from the last accounting period 2007 the income statement. On the income statement, we noticed that the company had to pay income taxes, and we will see the balance sheet as well. Fortunately for the company, we have access to the accounts. The real accounts, like the cash bank account, the issued capital account, the property, plant and equipment account, value-added tax, prepaid expenses, accumulated depreciation, and the income tax liabilities as well as retained earnings and the shareholders for dividend account are still available, and they have not been closed off. All the nominal accounts have been closed off, and as a result of the closing off, I grade them out. So the rent 2007 account, the labor account for 2007, the revenue, the depreciation, and the profit and loss account, they do not exist for us any further. We continue the real accounts. Our first bookkeeping entry will be to pay the income tax liabilities. I will record the bookkeeping entry alpha. Alpha is a debit entry in the income tax liabilities account. And the credit entry is recorded in cashback. Next, I pay the VAT liabilities. Bookkeeping entry Bravo is about 771,200 euros, which is a debit entry, and the credit entry is recorded in the cashback account as well. Next, I have to take care of the prepaid expenses. I have to transfer the prepaid expenses to a Rent 2008 account. I first have to create this account. I make the bookkeeping entry Charlie to the extent of 48,000 and I credit the amount to the prepaid expense account. By this bookkeeping entry, the prepaid expense account is zero balanced. The company declared a dividend to the shareholders, which requires us to make the bookkeeping entry delta. The value is 250,000. We make a debit entry in the shareholders for dividend account and we credit the cash bank account, which means we pay the dividend to the shareholders. In the case of GOUSBLOOM Limited, we made all the bookkeeping entries that were required at the beginning of the accounting period. Now the regular bookkeeping work can start.
Now that you have seen the video, take the textbook and study with it.